Spring Boot application using JUnit test case. I have used Mockito as a framework. Suppose if you have written web service and you need to test using JUnit test case, it's not simple Java web applications. It's a API, REST API which has been exposed, and before connecting to database and all that stuff, you need to mock it. So today I'm going to discuss more details about the Mockito. Let me show the agenda of today's discussion. And unit testing, we have to do integration testing in the repository, and unit test case can be done in controller, in the service layer, and in the DAO layer, that's the integration layer. And controller unit test case, we can do that. And the tool for checking that REST API, we can use Postman, we can use SOAP UI or REST client. And for the JUnit, the important thing is that coverage, how much code has been covered. We can use Eclema as a testing JUnit test coverage. And this is the approach of test driven development. So it's a fail fast. Let me show how we can implement it. To implement it, we need to add the dependency in the POM file, that Spring Boot starter test. It will include the necessary jar file for the JUnit, and some Mockito what I have already discussed, JUnit 4 and Hamcrest has been newly introduced. I will cover it in next session. Let me show, suppose this is the controller where web service has been exposed, and to connect to the database I have used in-memory database. It's a JPA repository, it has been auto-where, and fallback functionality, it's a get mapping. If I write API v1 shipwreck / with the ID, you will get the necessary shipwrecks details. Okay, and you need to write a test case. First thing is that this is auto-where, how you are going to perform it. So you need to mock it, right? And you need to get the object of shipwreck controller. So you are using inject mocks, and always use that before test has been run, this public void init, that before annotation, this will be initialized. Necessary initialization will be done by @before. In @test, first you have to write the object. Say I have written the object and I can populate the data, say 1, set the object. And what I'm going to do, if I invoke this functionality, say object controller get shipwrecks, and passing say value 1L, and what happened? So you are passing as a 1, and it will swr, that is rec repository dot find by 1. And here you see that I have not made any auto-where and connecting to any repository from JUnit test case. So obviously we will get the null pointer exception. So to mitigate the issue, what I have done, that I have mocked this part by mockito.when. Say this is the similar to the auto-where, that shipwreck repository. If it is find by ID, I have passed 1, so it will be dot find by ID 1. Then return that I have used Java it optional, and just get that object. I can put that object itself, but it's a best practice to optional dot off, and so try to use Java it feature. So it will mock with that object. So if I pass this object dot get shipwreck count, it will give you this object. So you will finally expecting this object. So object you are getting, and what I have passed, you have already set the ID as 1L is long. So we are going to check that what is the ID for it. If it is a 1, then assert to true. Now web service will give you positive results. If it is equal to or other than 1, then you will get assert false. Thank you very much.